like I feel like sometimes I just zone out and stay in my lane, and I'm not really aware of what's going on river above me or what's going on, towards mid. Um, I'm working on CS. CS was a problem for me for a little bit, but I've gotten a lot better at it from using the practice tool and stuff. So I'd say probably warding, knowing when my support, like knowing when we can go in, and then probably knowing like when to leave lane and stuff like that.
Okay, a mix of things, right? He's got some like macros, some kind of how many things can you keep track of in terms of map awareness, and then like some kind of micro stuff where you're like fighting and can we win this or not, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, let's pull up the replay then. And
Can't find this game. The heck? 22nd.
is it one of those where it's like
I'm wondering.
yeah, one of those two?
Let's just click it and see what happens.
That's wait.
It's gonna play. Or will it not work? What the hell?
Sometimes it's like it takes a while to start
Okay.
playing or something. This one's 14 minutes long, so it might not be what we're.
Yeah, this might not be it. Let's go back. 23rd, 22nd, maybe it's one of these. This one, what the hell? Why are they so short? Yeah, I'm a little new to Plays TV, so I don't really know.
That's
like,
that's fine.
Would it be easier to just download it? Or do you like seeing like the clicks and everything?
Plays TV, like yeah, personal perspective is probably best. Is there like
Yeah.
another game? Any game, honestly, doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be that one, right?
Was
Any
this-
like, if you want to do normals too, that's fine.
Yeah, we could. I just feel like normals are like, it's not really what I want to learn in,
Yeah,
What was this?
exactly, right? It's
This
not
one
ranked,
was ranked. Right here, this was ranked.
Okay,
This is Ash game.
perfect. So what rank is this, by the way?
This
Let's
is
start at
like
the beginning.
bronze. I'm bronze 3, so
Oh, okay.
yeah. So do I just
Good to
rewind it
know,
all the
good to
way?
know. So what do you think is the most important thing to do in League, right? In solo queue. It doesn't matter what role it is. Like what is the value of like you as a player, right? Like how like what how is it that, higher rank players can just win every single game in a lower rank? What do you think?
They probably like know exactly what they're supposed to be doing at what time. Like they know like, okay, since I'm the top laner, I need to be looking for, a TP down bot or just I don't know, that's a tough question.
So my kind of take on it is, so in a team game, right? Everyone has their job, I guess, right? They have like their burden. So say you have 5 people, that means everyone has 20% of the load to carry, right?
Right.
So if someone kind of drops the ball and no one else can pick it up, they're gonna lose, right?
Yeah.
And the higher rank players can take more of the load, if that makes any sense, right? So say if I was playing in bronze, I could probably shoulder like 90% of the load. So the way we kind of like pick up the stuff our teammates are dropping, like the way we win, the way anyone wins in solo queue is they do more than their fair share every game, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in order to do more than like your fair share, like there's a lot of things that come into it, right? Some players are really good at laning, so they win lane every time. Some players win team fights, but they can't lane. But it usually breaks down into how many advantages can you get for your team, right? Just by yourself, right? So like, can you win lane? Can you bring it to another lane? Can you draw jungle pressure? Can you bait out fights mid game? Favorable fights. Can you create a 4v5 situation? Can you make good Baron calls? Stuff like that. And basically, we need to be able to do that every game. So let's fast forward a little bit to when the game starts. Oh, is this like EU?
No, that's actually I actually typed like "Welcome to America" because I was
Wait,
like,
that's
what the hell are they
actually-
saying?
That's kind of funny. Anyways, so one way we can shoulder the load is like fighting, right? So say if you're playing like Xerath, right? And you're a scripter and you hit every single skill shot and you dodge every single skill shot. That's like creating a huge advantage for your team, right? So in this kind of way, you can't miss anything. Doesn't matter what you're playing. You can't miss anything and you have to dodge as much as possible, right? So as Ashe, what is the most important thing for you to hit in like fights and
Oh,
stuff?
really quick. I'm pretty sure this game the brand DCs. So
Oh
I don't know
wow.
if you want to. Yeah, I totally forgot that I had another one like this, but I'm
Well, we can
pretty sure.
watch until that happens,
Yeah,
right?
we could watch
So
until that happens if you want.
yeah, let's do that. So
Okay.
yeah. So as like an Ash player, okay. So
Mhm.
let's say pre-6. What is the most important thing in a fight, right? How do you
Um,
get the maximum damage out of Ash?
you want to probably poke with your volley auto, which I learned from your videos, and then like if they're staying long enough for you to actually get a couple Qs off, then definitely go for that.
Perfect, perfect, right? It's very simple, right? Ash is very simple. You just need a W, like your volley auto cancel, and then
Right.
if you can press Q. Like this is perfect, right? This is perfect.
Yeah.
So now how does Brand do that, right? Let's say Brand is level 2. What is how do you know if Brand wins or not, right?
Probably if he lands his skill shots, I would assume.
What specifically, right? Not just his skill shots, but
Like that. I'm not sure which button that is because I haven't played Brand before, but the one where he just puts the circle on the ground. I'm gonna assume that's his Q.
well, the most important thing for Brand to land is his stun, right?
Right.
So you know that if he lands it, if he misses it, you know that if he misses it, you automatically lose, right? Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
If he misses his stun, you cannot win a fight. Like you
Right.
cannot win an even fight, right? So if you miss your volley, you cannot win an even fight. Okay, so what now along those lines, Brand and Ash, you have it kind of figured out. So now what about Leona?
Leona, I know that if she lands her E, she can get like a super easy stun on you. So you kind of want to stay away right there, like
Yeah,
that.
exactly, right? So
Yeah.
well, that was a good dodge on the zap, but Leona is her stun, right? Her Q,
Mhm.
and it's not dodgeable. You just
Yeah.
you're gonna
It's
get
just
hit
an
if she's
auto.
in melee range, right? And then Jinx is what?
Jinx, I don't know. Her W, I've heard is annoying. I haven't played Jinx before, so again, like probably studying the champions is something that I really need to do.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, that'll probably help out a lot. But
Yeah.
for Jinx, it's about landing her abilities, right? Not
Uh-huh.
it's like auto attacks are like nice, but really
Right.
it's about landing her abilities. Is this guy DC? Okay, no, he's just standing here. Wow, you got free kill, right? So
Yeah.
Brand lands his stun. It's a free kill. Okay,
Mhm.
so far so good, right?
Yeah.
Especially for Bronze 3, right? Follow up when he lands
Mhm.
a stun, push his lane out, and you want to back, right?
Right.
So tell me, why do you know you want to back?
Because actually, trying to think, because it's a cannon wave coming next, I'm assuming. So they're gonna miss out.
Well,
Or well, no, I don't know.
my reason. Okay, so the
I don't
cannon
even know
wave
if they do
reasoning
back.
is if you like need to back and
Mhm.
you're forced to back, basically, right? You're like
Right.
if you have to back on a wave, what wave do you back on? The cannon wave, right?
Right.
But whenever something like happens in lane, and this could be anything depending on the situation, right? Whenever a gank happens, maybe when someone dies, maybe when you get a super good trade off or you lose a super bad trade, you might need to back. So when you get that kill,
Mhm.
you know that if you back right now, you can buy something, right? And win the lane harder, right? So
Right.
um, if we go back a little bit, go back to when you killed this guy.
Go back to the kill.
Yeah, go back to the kill. Go back to the kill.
Okay.
So when you get this kill, what's going through your head after you get this is what is my next step, right?
Mm.
So if you're not thinking about your next step here, that's probably something you need to work on, right? Because
Right.
League is very much a game about thinking a few steps ahead. Like what am I trying to do, right? Okay, so what are you trying to do in this lane? Well, obviously you're trying to win lane. You got to kill. How do you utilize that kill? If you don't back, you can't use that money, right? So what
Right.
happens if you stay? Which is what we did,
Then
right?
I have a chance of just dying.
Well, I wouldn't say that. It's more like if you stay, you can't. There's like a chance of you dying to a gank or something like that, right? But
Right.
the big thing is that you didn't get to reset when you had the chance, right? So, say you stayed, right? And you're sitting on however much money, it doesn't matter, but you have enough money to buy something, and then they stay as well, and you guys go even, right? Because no one has any advantage. Then you've kind of negated the kill you got, right? You didn't really
Yeah.
get to do anything with it, right?
Mhm.
So
So like I
back
should have
timers,
backed there.
yeah, back timers are important in League of Legends, right? It doesn't matter what lane you're playing, even in jungle, right? If you don't have a good back timer, how can you help a lane, or how can you counter gank, or how can you gank, right? So knowing when to back is like super important. Okay, this is probably a good hawk shot if you get the jungle camps in.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I
like
got him.
even now, if you push this in and back, this is like really good, right? Basically, whenever something happens, you want to back, unless you're trying to make a like fast tempo play, right?
Mm.
So another one thing you could have done if you really did not want to back for whatever reason is camp a bush, right? Like where Brand is standing, because you know they're gonna push back to you, and then you can just like hit them. But that's like those are kind of alternative options, right? Then immediately backing. So right here, if you lose lane, it's because you didn't back, right? If you get ganked here, it's because you didn't back.
So should you always back if you get a kill, or is it just like really situational?
So in League of Legends, there's never really an always. There's only like general rules and like exceptions to the rule, right? So the general rule is if something happens, you need to back. So say you get ganked and you lose all your HP and you have your sums up, and the wave is like right here, right? Do you back?
I would say probably not. Or actually, if you have no HP, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You have to back. And why do you have to back?
Because you could easily die to like someone touching you.
Exactly. Perfect, right? So you're forced to back, right? If you don't back, XYZ will happen, right? So this is kind of like a similar scenario. If you don't back, they could have fought you for the wave, and then while you're trying to fight, you get ganked, right? So okay, I don't know what's going on here, but
that's what came down. Oh shit!
You guys should be okay. It's not really a big deal. Oh,
I didn't know if I
flashing is fine. Flashing is fine. That's fine, right? We say flashing in order to absorb a gank is good, right?
I ran right into that
because the enemy is wasting their time. So, okay, I don't know what he's doing now. Okay, so here the goal is, right? If I was you, I was thinking I'm gonna clear this and back, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why we know this is because you can't clear another wave because you have no HP.
Right.
So.
Should I have stayed?
If they're doing this though, you should stay though, right? Hold up, pause. So the reason why we know you should stay is why?
Because Jinx is here and they're easily gonna get this and get a lot of free tower hits off, and I'm not gonna be able to get any of this experience.
Right. So first is can I stay? Right? Can they dive you?
I feel like Jinx probably could, maybe not at this level. But
yeah,
probably
she
not Jinx alone. Oh, she can.
Yeah, she can't dive you, right? Because if she walks up, your support's coming back, so she's gonna overextend, right?
Right.
And Leona's not here, and if she walks up, then you just walk away, right? So you know that they can't dive you, right? That's like the first step. If I stay, what happens? And then the second step is, okay, now that I know I'm staying, what is my goal, right? The goal is just clear everything and back. So that's how you know if you should. That's like how how you base your decisions, right? Like, what are you trying to get if you stay, and can you do it, right? What are you trying to do, and can you do it, right? Yeah. So you can keep going. So we complete the back. Another reason why we know we can stay is because you have like multiple people in the river, so there's no way this Jinx is gonna get away with like trying to hit your tower or something, right? So,
was that a good buy for first?
I would not have bought the 2 potions. I probably would have bought the pink ward, right? In a potion. So like putting a pink ward in that tri bush, right, would generate pressure for your team. That's kind of out of the scope, I guess, of this rank, right? Pink wards are really good though. So.
And this is tri-bush, right? Sorry, this is new.
Yeah, the tri-bush, right? So honestly, in bronze, the like important thing to do is we're the goal. What is our goal, right? We're trying to get to silver, right?
We want to win, yeah. Get to silver.
Yeah. So our goal is to play better than all the other bronze players. Okay, so the way you do that is, especially in bronze, is to not kill yourself. And it sounds really stupid, but this is like the base of League for like most lower ranked players is when they see a champion, they want to hit them, right? Like right now, what are you doing? You see a champion, you want to hit them, and it's not like it's not like it's a bad. Okay, it is kind of like a bad thing, but it's something that is easily fixable, right? So whenever you want to do something, you need to ask yourself what the consequence of doing it is, right? So if you hit them, what's the worst that could happen, right? So what's the worst that could happen right here?
Leona could probably EQ onto me.
And why is that a problem?
Because that'll pretty much kill me.
Oh, and how do you know that? How do you know that? Right. So right here we're fighting because we see them, right? So how do we know this is not good?
Because Diana's coming, which I
exactly, right? Because the worst thing that could happen is that a gank comes through and you can't get away, right? And we know you can't get away because Leona can easily land her EQ combo when you have no flash, right? And then because she can do that, you know that you're gonna lose the gank. Okay, you should have died there, but
but it's bronze.
Yeah. Okay, so like if we back it up,
yeah.
So what should be going through our heads right now is
like right here.
Yeah. So what what we should be thinking is, okay, so you look at the map,
Hmm.
right? Also, if you want to practice map awareness, you look at the map between every CS, or if there's no fighting, right? You just always
Right.
look at the mini map.
Okay.
What do you see? What do you notice?
Well, now when I look at the minimap, I notice that Diana's missing,
Hmm.
obviously.
What else? There's
Um,
another important thing here.
Poppy's all the way up top.
Perfect, right? So you got two people that can't help you on your team,
Hmm.
right? Mid can roam, jungle can come, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know who the jungler is, but it probably doesn't matter. They can just
It's
run through
Poppy.
there. Oh, okay.
Oh,
No, no, no.
their
The enemy
jungler.
jungler.
I don't know.
Is that like Yasuo or some shit? I don't even know.
I think Yasuo's their mid lane and Diana's their jungle.
Okay, okay.
Pretty
So,
sure. So I should
either
have just
way,
noticed that Yasuo was missing.
yeah, yeah. So here we know that they could be coming down right now, right? And since you have no flash, you're gonna automatically get hit by Leona E, right? So which means that no matter what happens, you don't want to get hit by Leona E, right?
Mhm.
So if Leona has flash, what is the maximum distance you can stay away? What is like the minimum distance you can be near her?
It'd probably be like over here.
Yeah, yeah, flash E range, right? Whatever
Mhm.
that is. That's just the range you have to memorize or know.
Yeah.
So as long as you're outside of that range, you know you can't die. But
Mhm.
if you're in that range, you know you're gonna die, right? So it's like a
Right.
kind of a fine line that you walk in League. So it doesn't matter what you do as long as you stay out of that range because you know you're gonna die if you're in that range. So if we press play, you know that what should be going through your head is okay. My job is to not die here. That's
Mhm.
it, right? Because all if they try and make this gank happen and you get away from it, right? Then what's gonna happen? Zed's gonna push mid. Poppy's gonna get a gank off top. Something's gonna happen, right? But if
Right.
they like bait you like this in a fight that you can't win,
Mhm.
right? It was literally impossible for you to kill her, right?
Right.
Right? There's no. It's like actually impossible. There's
'Cause I
no
wasn't 6
universe.
yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, not even then, right?
Mhm.
Even if you had your ultimate and you
Right.
ulted Jinx and Leona flashed into it, you still lose, right? So, if you need to take fights where there's you want to take unfair fights where there's no chance of you losing,
Mhm.
right? That's like the core of League, and that's very easy to do in Bronze because they.
Should I be back under turret at this point? Sorry.
No. You should back
Okay.
here because
Okay.
you're gonna get dove because you have no HP now, right? So, this is also if you want to like write down notes. One rule of diving is if you're diving the enemy, you trade with them so your team can just like hit them and kill them, right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Say both teams have a million HP,
Mhm.
and then your team dives, right? Eventually, the tower will kill you guys before you guys can kill the enemy, right?
Mhm.
Let's say they have 10 million HP, whatever. Okay, now say everyone has 50 HP. Okay, how easy? Except for your jungler. Your jungler has like a 1k. Your jungler is full HP, full health, and all four people bot have 50 HP. How easy is it for him to dive, right? So
Very
the more
easy,
you
yeah.
trade, the better it is in a dive. So the reverse is true, right? If you're getting dove, or if you can't get dove, you want to take no damage, zero trades. You want to take zero trades, even if it's good, because you're gonna get dove, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you know if like you can stay on your tower or not, right? So in that case, you could have gotten dove, so you couldn't stay because you had no HP, right? So that's just like a general rule, but that could we probably don't have to get into that until like probably later in the ranks. But basically in Bronze, it's about knowing what is a fair fight and what is not a fair fight, right? So pause right now. Right. So if you arrow that Jinx right there, could you have killed her?
Probably not.
Exactly. Right. So you know this instinctively that you can't kill her, because why?
Because Leona's coming and I don't think I have enough damage at this point to kill her.
Right. You don't have enough damage and you have no idea where they are. Perfect. Right. So all we have to do is do that, except against any situation. Right.
Right.
So the reverse is true if you had your team. If your team was there and you arrow her, you know Brand can't miss a Q on a stun target, right? Hopefully he's not gonna miss. But
Right.
so that's it. That's all we need to do in Bronze. I'm not joking. Like only taking unfair fights and you will win because the enemy will always like try and hit you. See champion, hit champion. So you can resume here. Okay. So so far like what you've been doing is good except for the kind of times where you shouldn't have been fighting, right? So
I remember this.
The CS doesn't matter. Like in Bronze, CS doesn't matter. Let's be honest. So okay, so what's going on here? So pause. So tell me why are you doing this?
Well, so like 15 seconds ago, I E'd up here, and we saw Diana right here, and so I assumed that she went topside to farm their jungle. So I figured, hey, we can get an easy dragon here because Poppy's already down here. Brand could come help us. It would be a 3v2 if they even tried to challenge us.
Okay, here's a new rule for bronze. Do not do any objectives unless the enemy is dead, okay?
Okay.
Because it's actually like not possible. This is just not possible. Consider this like a very strong rule. Unless you kill them, don't try objectives because this is a throw, right?
Right.
The worst case scenario is what?
Mid roams down and we just lose the fight completely.
Right, like, yeah, exactly. Like the instant
Or
I saw you do
Diana
this,
State.
the instant I saw you do this, I know a lot of things can go wrong, right?
Mm.
So the instant you ran up the river, they all went missing. You guys don't have pink wards, so pink wards guarantee that you like this can work if you have like 3 pink wards in the river, right? But that's not happening. And it's like a mixture of things, right? If you start the dragon, you're taking damage. You're gonna get pincered. Leonard hard engage is gonna kill someone. There's a lot of things that can go wrong here, right? So there's a lot of factors. So in order to simplify things at bronze is just don't do it, right? Unless you kill someone. The way you kill someone is let them like do the stupid thing first, right? So if we press play here, you guys, there's no way you guys are gonna get anything out of this. So you should stay bot. Wait, press play here. Yeah. So
really quick though.
yeah.
Where would be good spots for pink wards, like in the river? Like, should I have one here?
Right
Or
where
is
that
this not a
ping
good
is
spot? Yeah.
is very strong if you're winning a lane, right?
Uh-huh.
And the reason why it's strong if you're winning is because they can't pull off a gank without knowing where your jungler is, or they have no vision in that, and you guys can sit in that bush, right? And they can't ward it without you guys hitting them, stuff like that, right? But if you're losing, why is that a bad word?
Probably because they can just their jungler could kill it, one of them could kill it, they could walk up without us punishing them at all.
Yeah, exactly. You just take it because you're losing lane, right? So that's like a very like Saber blue side. This is a very strong ward if you're winning. Now the defensive ward is the tri-bush, right?
Okay.
Because it's safer. It's like closer to your tower. If something goes wrong, you can run away easier, right?
So
Stuff
that's
like
if we're pushed right here.
So if you're really losing, that tri-bush ward is just gonna say, oh, that's just gonna let them know when they're taking it, right? You're just gonna lose that. You're just gonna lose control of there anyways. But if your jungler is sitting in that bush and you guys are getting pushed up, right? Like they face check, they can lose, right? So it gives you options basically. Like putting the pink ward in the tri bush gives you options. It's very good defensive. Even if when you're winning, it's still good, but not as good as it could be. But anyways, yeah, those are like 2 great spots.
Gotcha.
But yeah, since you know that you have no idea where they are, it's just automatic loss, right? So this is what we're trying to avoid in bronze, right? As long as we don't do this and the enemy does this, you will win every single game. I promise, right? So like I said, like before anything happened, I already knew it was like not good, right? So as long as we can like teach that or like figure that out, you can't lose, right? League is about putting yourself in a situation where you can't lose, even in Challenger, right? Challenger happens all the time. People will take 3v4 fights for no reason, right? And that's how you win. So you need to take zero. It takes zero skill. It's all mental. 0 mechanics are needed. So I would also question the build, but we don't really have to worry about that too much, I think. I would say
that's another thing. I don't really know like what to build when, etc.
Yeah, I would say just get Blade of the Ranking every time on Ashe. Like if you need inspiration pro builds, don't reinvent the wheel basically, right? We don't need any of that. Like honestly, yeah, just pretty much copy like what works, right? I would probably get Blade of the Ranking every game.
Okay.
Even though there are sometimes Essence Reaver could be better, Infinity Edge could be better. My Ashe is not like that refined, so I would just play the King, right? So it's like whatever. So here, farming is good, right? You know that they can't kill you because they have no Leonard, whatever. This is worded, everything is good. You can probably push this out, right? So what you're looking to do on Ashe is what?
I'm not really sure.
So how does Ashe kill someone, right?
Usually by landing our stun, right?
Yes, exactly. Land the arrow, right? And who can you kill with your arrow? Like can you say full HP Maokai versus full HP Jinx, right? Who would have a better chance, right? The Jinx, right? So sounds obvious, but everything in League must be like very specific, right? So okay, so you win this. Why? Tell me why.
Just because the Jinx was too far away to follow up.
No. Go back.
Oh, because Poppy's coming.
Exactly. You know, 100% you win this. You never take a fair fight in League, right?
Right.
Is this fair? Is this fair? Was that a fair fight?
No.
It's not a fair fight. It's 2v3.
Was
There's
that a
nothing they could
good
do.
arrow or no?
That was fine. It's
Okay.
perfectly fine, right? Holding on to it until they try to run away is good, right?
Mhm.
Any kind of CC has highest value when you prevent them from doing what they want, right? Examples is if they want to run away, you hit them and they
Right.
can't run away. Or if they're chasing, you hit them, they can't chase anymore, right? Stuff like that. So, you guys got 2 kills in a tower by doing what? By just like letting them kill themselves, right? If you rewind, they
letting
just
them
ran at
chase.
you, right? See champion, hit champion. So as long as you can capitalize every time they do that, and you don't do it yourself, you will win every game. I promise, you will win
Okay.
every game. Especially when you're playing Ashe, right? You just hit them with the arrow, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta run. You hit them with the arrow, you win.
Right.
So this is a good back. Unless Poppy thinks you can do dragon, in which case you can help her maybe. But the goal here is to get dragon and run, right? That's my mindset. When I see this, I say get dragon and run because their jungler could be coming, and if you get Leon out there, you're very sad. So,
Right.
hopefully you guys back after this. But does what I say make sense so far?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing, like to help you with this, like fair fight only, is like thinking about looking at the map and saying, okay, where's my team? Where's their team? Okay, this is a really good flank. Wait, you can hit this guy.
Oh yeah, I get caught out. I think here.
So yeah, you know you win this
Poppy's here,
because
so.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Could we have stayed there?
Yeah, 100%. You can kill them right now, right? You have arrow, right?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, this Yasuo's here, but I think you won because Brand just like did 1,000,000 damage. But right, you know you won because it was 2v3. You didn't see, yeah, and Yasuo is like weak right now. Okay, so yeah, you can't lose this. Okay, good. This was all fine. But so what we've learned so far is never take a fair fight, right?
Right.
You don't need any kind of mechanics in bronze or silver or gold. You don't need any kind of mechanics. I promise you. Right. The only time you need mechanics is like probably like getting up into the diamonds mastered area, right?
Right.
What I mean by mechanics is like being able to flash Malphite all. Like, like honestly, it's like really nice to have, but most of the time people will lose because they're fighting Malphite when their top laner splitting, right? That's why you lose to Malphite rather than getting hit by the ultimate.
Right.
Anyways, so far you're doing so good. Wait, is this I thought you like went 1-7 or something.
No, this was a different one. This was when my brand DC'd. I thought that this was a full game, but no, this one I think I went like 4-7 or something.
So one of my comments I had earlier when you did the dragon is the reason why you want to back after getting the dragon is because you have no cooldown on arrow, so you can't kill anyone, right? How does Ashe kill people? Hit people with the arrow. So if you have no arrow, you can't find anything. So when you're sitting in the river, there's nothing to find because you don't have arrow, right? Say if you repeat that scenario and you come out of the bush because Jinx is walking by, what can you do to stop her from just walking to her tower? Nothing, right? So that's how we know, like, can we do something? Yes or no. For Ashe, it's very easy. Do I have arrow? Yes or no, right? Obviously, it's like more complicated than that, but as like to make things simpler, that's like the rule we go by. Okay, so now we're looking at this fight. Can you hit anyone with arrow? No, right? First you look at the map. Okay, is this a fair fight? No, everyone just runs away. Okay, good, right? Run away because you know you can't win this. How do you know you can't win this?
I don't know.
Look at the map real quick.
They're all missing.
No,
I mean,
no,
we're
no,
all
no.
together.
Look again.
Zed's down bot.
Perfect, right?
Yeah.
Zed's bot, which means that it's a 4v5, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like we saw earlier when Poppy came bot and it was a 2v3 and they got smashed and you guys didn't have to do anything. The same thing's gonna happen in a 4v5, right? You're gonna get smashed and you can't do anything about it. So whenever you see that happening, you run, right? You can't fight, right? The only times when there's like an exception to that rule is when someone suicides or you guys find like a pick or something, right? But like 9 times out of 10, you're gonna lose a 4v5, right? So you guys are probably gonna lose this because it's just tragedy.
Yeah. This is right when Brand said, "Sorry, I gotta go." Like this is when he left.
All right, that's pretty rip. Okay, so we can watch a different game, but basically, what you need to okay, we can also look at the arrow real quick too. If we go back,
On
the
the one
arrow.
on Garen.
Yeah. I think you can explain to me after watching why it wasn't a good arrow, but in the heat of the moment, it's like kind of hard, right?
Yeah.
So tell me why this arrow doesn't work.
Um, because is it because Zed's bot, or just because we just don't have enough damage to kill him, and we
You
don't
just
know if they're
you just
coming?
can't kill him. You just can't
Right.
kill him, right? Save your basically when in doubt. If you have a sliver of doubt in your mind, you do not use arrow, right?
Right.
Because the arrow is how you, as like Ash, do anything in the game, right? For the most part. So you want to save it until the last second, right? Saving it is better than using it and wasting it.
Mm,
Because if you save it, there will be opportunities to hit like Jinx, for
mm,
example, or Yasuo if he has no wind wall, right?
right.
Or if you really want to use it on a tank, wait until he's like 1/4 HP trying to run away, and then you hit him, right?
Right.
Then it'd be good value. So we can watch a different game now
Okay.
because this is like 4v5 whatever.
Yeah.
Um, Brand's like gone, but it's just tragedy, right? So
Yeah.
here you're pushing up, trying to help the team, but you have no arrows, so you can't do anything, right? So
Mhm.
simple, right? That's how we know whether or not you win beforehand, right?
Mhm.
Do you land your abilities? Is it a fair fight, right? So in a fair fight, in a 5v5, in a 3v3, the team who wins is the team that lands more stuff, right?
Mhm.
So in bronze, it's more about it's all about land your stuff and don't take bad fights, right? That's it.
Right.
That's all we got to do, right? I promise you, you win every game. Okay, so let's watch a different one.
We could watch this one. I did like super terrible in this one.
Okay, okay.
If you want.
Um,
I want
Caitlyn, honestly, I would probably not suggest playing something like Caitlyn, but
Okay.
uh, but honestly, like playing stuff that is fun is super important too, because
Mhm.
that's like why we play League, right?
Right.
So find any game. It doesn't matter
Okay.
win or loss. Probably not that Caitlyn game because after a few mistakes, it's kind of like
Mm.
uh, it's more about preventing the mistakes that happen. So
Right.
like this Ash game where we went 11-6, we can watch that.
Where is that? Oh, right here. Do I have that on here? That's so weird. Like half the stuff on here isn't like. Maybe it was this one. No,
Honestly, we can just go down and look at anything. To be
Yeah.
honest,
What are these? Why is it saying it's only 9 minutes? I feel like the ones that don't have like the champion and everything are just like little clips.
yeah, that
Yeah, I don't
happens.
know why.
Maybe it's like recording. You like, do you have like a limit on how much you're recording in the
I don't
Plays TV settings?
think maybe. I never looked at like all the settings and stuff. I kind of just downloaded it when you told me to.
Scroll down real quick. Oh, maybe it's in advanced. Yeah, there's an auto manage space, so it'll like delete stuff.
Oh, okay. Just check it every so often.
I don't check that, so I can record everything. But I mean, if
You just
you are low on
uncheck.
space, yeah, that's just to like manage how much space there is. But you'll just have to go back and delete stuff
Yeah, that's
when
fine.
it starts using that. Yeah. So, anyways, we can go back. So I think we can honestly watch any of these.
Okay. Like we could watch. I mean, we could watch like I have a normal Jin game
That's
that I
that's
played.
fine. Honestly,
Okay.
it'll be the same concepts.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So Jin's a little trickier, but how do you how do you kill people with Jin? Right? Pre
Um,
six.
Probably land your root on them and
Yes, exactly. Right? Landing the root, right?
Mm.
And then obviously getting good damage is your Q, fourth shot, whatever. But landing the root is like the important thing, right? So fast forward to landing phase. We don't really care about any of this.
Okay.
Okay. So it's gonna be Graves, Malphite, whatever. So what we discussed earlier was how do you know when you win a fight? A fair fight is if you land more stuff than them. And and how do you win an unfair fight? You just the rule is for now is automatic loss and automatic win. Okay, so let's watch this. Thinking about those two things, and the way you know it's an unfair fight is how.
Pretty much if they have more people than you or if you have more people than them.
Exactly. And we can figure that out by looking at the map, right?
Right.
So the general rule is if they're within one lane's distance, they can help, right?
Mhm.
So so this guy's just jumping in. I don't know what he's doing, but you're landing everything, right? So you can't lose, right? So that's how you know if you can like win fights or not. If you land stuff, you cannot lose. You at the worst case, you will go even, right?
Right.
If you land everything, you'll go even. So the CSing is like, don't worry about it.
Right.
Okay, good route.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we only won this game because Udyr top just carried. Because we lost lane, but I mean, we ended up coming back afterwards.
So do you have any like questions from what we were talking about earlier?
Not so far. You answered most of them already.
Also, for skill ordering, you should also copy like pro builds or something
Hmm.
because like traps doesn't really do anything, right?
Right.
So you
So
would
I
want more
shouldn't
damage on your
shouldn't
Q,
level it
for
first.
example.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've always been in the habit of just getting 1 point in everything as quickly as possible. So I'll check pro builds and stuff for that.
So yeah, we can touch upon another concept in League, which is value. Have you heard? Like, does that sound familiar to you? Like the
Yeah,
concept of
I've
value on
yeah,
abilities?
I've seen your videos where you say like you want to get the most value out of every, mouse
Right,
click.
right. So the reason why like no one skills level 3 on Jin is because it makes your Q have like no value,
Hmm.
right? Because if you hit them with a Q, it does no damage,
Hmm.
and then your traps also have no value because it's almost no value because it's really hard to use them in lane, right? It's
Right.
like what are they doing, right? Um, so like the best case scenario if you get level 3 is you put it down on them and they get stunned and they get hit by it,
Hmm.
but that's like it doesn't give you more damage than getting another point in Q, right? So that's why no one gets it.
Hmm.
So uh, okay, hold on. You said you pinged that to call for a gank, right?
Right.
So how does the gank work?
Um,
In what way can you guys kill them?
I don't think we probably can. I probably shouldn't have pinged it.
Right. But the reason why, like, we need to find out why you can or cannot kill them, right?
Mhm.
Because if you can recognize these patterns, right, you automatically know it's not gonna
Right.
work, right? Not a chance in France unless he like stands still or something, or he
Right.
does something like that.
Yeah.
But wow, there is no way. Okay, interesting. I guess I stand corrected. But we know it shouldn't have worked, right? Okay,
Right.
back up, back up,
Yeah,
back up,
I
back up.
honestly luckily flashed into my W. Or he flashed into my W really luckily right here. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
So
much the only reason we won.
yeah. So say he just like sidestepped your W and then he flashes the Rakan knockup, then your jungler wasted his time and it was like not a good gank, right?
Right.
So the way we know if a gank works or not is three things.
Mhm.
Okay. First thing is do they have flash?
Right.
Right. So that's kind of obvious to tell, right? If they have flash, they haven't used it, and if they don't have flash, you should type it in chat, right? So just like so they say they flash at 6 minutes. When is their flash back up? 11 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Assuming they don't have the mastery or whatever. Just don't
Right.
assume it.
The C tier.
We don't really need to worry about that. But so add 5 minutes, put in the chat, and memorize it, right? Just keep track of your about. Don't worry about like jungle, mid, top. Just worry about the enemy AD carry and the enemy support. Because if you don't know it, then you can't say if you win a fight or not, right? So first thing is flash. Second thing is how much HP they have, right?
Right.
So remember when we said if you're getting dove and you have no HP, you're gonna die, right? Or if you're diving and they have no HP, they're gonna die, right? So it's similar. So if you have no HP and you're pushing up and you get ganked, you're gonna die, right?
Right.
Because you have a long way to go back to your tower, right?
Mhm.
And the same thing is true in the other way around. If they're pushed up with no HP, they're gonna die, right? So say the enemy has flash, but he's pushing up with 50 health, right? So what the jungler does is Graves ease in and smites him, and he dies, right?
Right.
So that makes sense, right? Obviously, it's not gonna be exactly like that, but it's gonna be similar to that.
Right.
So the third rule is what this Rakan just did. Can you land your CC, right?
Yeah. Right.
And can you land it 10 times out of 10 times? Okay, this is kind of awkward. So
Yeah. I think I win. I had to burn both sums though, and support died.
if you go back
Hmm.
a little bit, so the reason why Rakan dies is no flash, one, and that's actually the main reason, right? And
Yeah.
huge disadvantage.
He went
It's like
back in right
4v2.
there too.
Yeah, but it's like 4v2, right? So
Hmm.
there's just like no way.
Right.
So
I'm pretty
that's
sure I
also
stay
another
here.
way.
I think I
So
get
if
go.
it's like 2v3, maybe you can get away with flash. If it's 2v4, 2v5, you're gonna die no matter what, something like that. But yeah,
That
it's
was a good
kinda-
back, right? Since they could have.
Yeah, that's a good back, right? That was good. We know that's a good back.
Yeah.
The only time that wouldn't be a good back is if you see them like backing or something, right? Or if you know they can't die for whatever reason, so you can stay
Right.
and pick up all the farm. But is generally considered a good back, right? That's good that you recognize that. So,
Yeah.
um, right. So the fights that you have won are, unfair fights. You get a gank, and the fights that you've lost are also unfair
So
fights.
yeah.
It's a 4v2, right? So far we're seeing recurring patterns, right? Um, okay, so
Right here,
whatever this is
TF.
going on. So
I feel like
pause.
TF should have. Okay.
So this is 100% win, right?
hmm
How do you know?
I think we actually lose this, but I thought that it should have been 100% win because we had two in mid, and they could have gotten sandwiched right here.
Yeah. So this this should be a win because Udyr is closer than Nar, and it's 5v4, right? So
Right.
if we press play, what happens? Barring something insane happening, right? Like someone getting one shot or tower diving, right? Something
Right.
insane happening. You should win this. So
Right.
let's watch what happens. Udyr doesn't come. So this is like they tower dove, right? So something
Right.
insane happened, they tower dove. So that's why you didn't win. That's how you can tell like won or lost fights, right? You should have won, but they like killed themselves under tower, so you lost, right?
Yeah. Like if TF and Kindred had turned there, that would have been probably 2 kills instead of 1, right?
Yeah, exactly. They just should not have dived, anyways. But nothing you can do about that. But it was good decision to come, right? It was the correct decision to come help, because you guys should have won that. But just recognizing this situation is like the first step, right? So here, what is the goal? Pause. What are you trying to do here?
I think we go back down bot.
Okay.
Or should we get drag, or should we just keep pushing in mid?
No, it's just like I'm just trying to figure out if you can reason out what your next step is or not, right? So something happened. Basically, if you can push a wave uncontested, you should do it, right? So
Right.
you knew everyone back. So if I were you, I would have just pushed mid and gone bot, right?
Right.
So it doesn't matter that mid wants his wave or whatever. If you can push it into the tower, you should push it into the tower. So press play.
Right.
But yeah, we're going back bot. We know Malphite just got his ultimate. So if you get hit by that, you're probably gonna die.
Right.
If it's an unfair fight, and if it's a fair fight and Rakan misses his stuff and Malphite hits you, you're not gonna die. Okay, so this is just like kind of face check, right?
Yeah.
You should have known they were there. It's kind of
Yeah, because I saw Malphite like right down here.
right. That's
but
a way
I didn't see it, yeah.
that's one way to win or lose a fair fight, right? If you
Right.
have vision on them or not.
Yeah.
So few ways you can win fair fights. We don't really have to worry about it too much, but basically like vision, can you see them or not, and can you land abilities or not. And another one is, how strong are you compared to them? It's 2v2 and you're 5-0, you're gonna win, right? Stuff like that. But usually we want to focus on unfair fights. So basically just like if you can't see them, you should know they're there, right?
Right.
Also you did see them, so that's kind of awkward, but
Yeah. I saw him go back under or into the bush anyway.
so yeah, we know mid's gonna die because Rakan is bot with you. You know they're gonna lose that fight mid, right? How do you know?
Because they have more players than us. And
Yeah, exactly.
bot
So
already
Graves is
left up
going.
there.
Yeah, see, you know 100% it's an unfair fight, so you're gonna lose mid, right? So as long as we can recognize it every time a fight happens, I want you to think: do we win this or do we lose this, right?
Right.
And play accordingly, right? So if you know you win, you go all in, right? If you know you lose, everyone runs, and if you don't know, you play safe, right?
Right. Should I have roamed up there?
Wait, okay, go back.
Okay.
We can ask that. We can look at that question, just by looking at the map.
Like,
So go back a little bit more. Pause. Yeah, right here. Can you go up there?
Probably right now. Yeah, I could.
Well,
But I didn't know that.
what happened? What about? So say they were doing dragon, right? And it's 2v3. That's not a fair fight though.
Right.
Right. The three of them are on dragon, or they could be waiting in the river for you.
Mhm.
So you can't actually go because you have no idea where they are.
Right.
They could be in this bush next to you, on the tree bush next to the tower, right? And you don't
Right.
know. So you can't actually go because there's no vision, right?
Right.
That's why vision is super important in League. But that's like one of the reasons. Like, can you? It's like you ask yourself here, can you go? And the answer is no. And this is how you reason it out, right? So when can you go?
When I get vision of everyone, pretty much.
Perfect, right? When you get vision of enough people to say you can go, you can go. But at that point, it's too late because they'll show up at mid already, right?
Right.
So 100% that the mid fight is lost,
Mhm.
right? Because the enemy is gonna go help and you can't go help. So that's how you can tell.
Right.
So if we press play, it's just literally not possible until you see Malphite, and then by the time you see Malphite, the mid's already gone.
Mhm.
Because by the time you get there, it's gonna be too late. So
Right.
that's how we already know whenever a fight's gonna go. Now, yeah. yeah, so you still can't go because you have no idea where the bot lane is. Yeah, that's
Right.
basically how we can tell. So that's also one of the reasons why kind of winning lane is important because you get to go help first, right?
Mm.
So the enemy team could be doing something stupid. You go help first, you win the fight, right?
Right.
So now you have to play safe because, uh, you know, people died mid, and it's gonna be 2v3 bot, or you're just gonna die bot if Malphite walks on you, right? So at this point, how do you die to Graves Malphite, right? If he slows you, you can die, right?
Right.
Because you have no flash or whatever.
Mm.
So you should be very scared whenever trying to hit an objective.
Mm.
Basically, at lower, actually at any rank, you only want to be like going for these towers or dragons or barons whenever the enemy team dies.
Mm.
Right? That should be like an iron rule for, especially in bronze, because it's very hard to. Whenever you're going for an objective like this, right? Whenever you're going up for an objective, it's very hard for you to like figure out how to stop these unfair fights from happening. Because if you're hitting the tower, and they're gonna hit you for free. Also, we
Right.
know this all doesn't work, right?
Yeah, because he
Because they can just block,
runs up.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So if you know, basically any kind of like fight or play you want to take, you want to win 90 times out of 100.
Mm.
You put this on replay, right? And ask yourself, how many times do you win this fight? It has to be 90 times out of 100, right? Every time you use that ult, can you kill that guy 90 times out of 100? Yes or no, right? So the fights you've won and lost are all follow within like the same kind of reasoning, right? Was the fight fair, right? You didn't have vision on them, so it wasn't fair. It was like 2v3, it wasn't fair. 2v4, whatever. It all comes down to the same thing. So I think what the best thing that will help you right now is recognizing these situations, right? That's how you know whether you win or not. And then like on a secondary note, can you land your abilities? I think you've been doing fine landing your abilities, right? Your W's have been pretty good, right? You know Q does damage. You know that ultimate will kill low health people, right? So you're fighting. It's not the fighting that's like the problem. It's just knowing whether or not you should fight, or
Right. Knowing if we have an advantage on them or not.
Exactly. Perfect, right? So from now on, like every time in the replay something happens, like a fight happens, I'm gonna ask you, can you win this fight? Okay, so pause. Right. So if Malphite goes on you right now, do you win or not?
No.
Right? How do you know?
Graves has a level on me, so he probably also has more items than me.
Okay. So in a 2v2, you automatically lose. How else do you know?
Because actually, well, I was gonna say Kindred's not close, but he kind of is close.
Right. So Kindred is close, but their jungler also could be close. Right.
Right.
So you don't know. So it's a 3v3, but then they have an advantage over you. So you know you
Right.
can't win. Right. And then on top of that, TF has no ult. So if TF had ult, you would say this is an unfair fight because you bait this and you say TF come, it's 4v3, you win.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have ult, so Ari's gonna come first, right? So you know it's a 3v3 at best, and they have an advantage, so you can't win, right? So press play. So you know that if you get hit by this Malphite ult, you're gonna lose. So that's what should be going through your head right now. Don't worry about CS. Don't worry about wave control. Just worry that if they try and fight, you know you lose, right? 100%. We already know. Yeah. We already know he's dead, right?
Yeah.
So don't try and help him. He's gone. This kind of thinking will get you to silver. I promise you. This kind of thinking will get you way beyond everyone at your rank. Okay, so now pause. So what happens if you stay?
They could dive me potentially, probably.
Exactly. So you have to back. Or if you're like super desperate and you guys are just gonna lose the game, you can maybe try and bait them on the tower and have, if your jungler is nearby, right? Kindred ult can maybe save you guys. But usually, you should recognize that you cannot stay, right? So even being out here is bad. Like, what if he flash ults you? You lose your flash at best. Best case is you trade flashes, and that's not good for the AD carry, right? So, press play here, right? So, whenever someone dies, consider that like they can do whatever they want. Whenever the enemy team dies, consider that as you can do whatever you want, right? So, enemy team dies, go for bot tower, sure. Enemy team dies, take dragon. Your team dies, don't stay at tower. So, stuff like that. Yeah, you even play that relatively well, rooting him on the tower, but it's just unfair fights are extremely hard, right?
It was really unfair.
The reason why higher ranked players can always win in the lower ranks is because they can win unfair fights. But it's not something you should train, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's like not you won't be at that level yet for like a
Mhm.
very long time, right?
Right.
So don't worry about the mechanics and stuff. Worry about just taking easy fights, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so TF is coming. We know we're gonna have 4 people, but Udyr killed someone top. So if there's TP stuff going on, you know you're gonna win.
Mhm.
So that's how you know you can push this out, right? Because if they jump on you, you guys should be able to get away, right?
Right.
You're looking to ult here. Interesting.
No,
But
I was just like looking at the
oh,
range because I'm a
okay.
little new to Gen.
Fair. So yeah. So the next step is just always push if you can push, pretty much. That's like a kind of we're gonna throw a soft rule in here. If you're like asking, hey, should I push? Should I freeze? If you can push without dying, push. Okay. We're gonna add that soft rule. If you ever like
Right.
question, okay, so you see Ari. So how do you know you can win this?
Um,
Pause. If TF is watching, for example.
right. TF could have ulted in probably, but then it was still would have been a 3v3, even
Okay,
though,
okay.
well, we know Warwick is far, so it's no matter what going to be a 3v3.
Okay, good. Now you recognize it's a 3v3. So in a fair fight, what are some conditions that'll make a side win? Right? We talked about vision, and we talked about what else?
Teammates, or well, advantages.
Well, more specifically, we talked about like whoever lands more stuff is gonna win.
Right.
So, what's a guaranteed way to make them miss?
Flash.
Exactly, right? So, say if they land this Malphite out on you, you automatically lose. If you flash it, you automatically win, right?
Right.
So that's why flash is super important in league, right? Because you can make a fair fight unfair because you force them to miss.
Right.
So if we pretend TF is coming down here, right? If you back up a little, the instant you see Ari and you spam ping help, he'll notice and he'll come, right?
Right.
So like press play. So when you're pushing this lane, if Malphite can't ult you, you should be looking at the map, right? You don't need to look at the CS. When in between auto attacks, you don't need to look at the CS. So pause.
Right.
I noticed Ari immediately, right? So this is when you spam ping help. Right. You walk away from Malphite ult range. He's gonna flash out you. You flash it. You automatically win. Right. That's how we know. That's how we know. So we recognize that's a 3v3, and then you recognize that you can make the fight unfair by flashing his ultimate, right? So what is a way that they can counter that? You flashing Malphite ult.
Ari could land a charm.
Yes, perfect, right? Ari lands a charm, and then you can't dodge it, right? And then the counter to that is Rakan, ulting Malphite when Ari charms you, right? And it goes on and on. But basically, that's like how you can figure out whether or not you win scenarios, right? So the basic is just flash Malphite ult. We don't need to delve deep into that, but if you were curious, that's what happens, right? It's this happens, then this happens, and this happens. So if you press play, you're probably gonna lose because TF is brainless. But you can probably get away if you flash, right? So you have good spacing against Malphite. You're gonna get charmed. Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah, I should have flashed the charm there.
Right, but that was a loss because if you flash her charm, you can't dodge the Malphite flash ult, right? So
then I
so then the only way to get away from that is Rakan blocks a charm for you, and you guys run before she gets into charm range, right? So, but honestly, it's fine because TF got mid tower, right? So it's like whatever. So these kind of situations, if your teammate doesn't come help but they get something, it's okay, right? Because you can take a better fight later in the game, right? The enemy team will always do something stupid. I promise you. Enemy team will always take bad fights. So going back to lane, this is fine, right? So TF is backing, yada yada. Okay, Warwick's mid. So you know that they're gonna win the fight mid. Oh wait, Kindred's not helping. Never mind. TF is probably gonna die then. Right? Getting Dove under tower. He has low HP. 100% loss. Right. That's how you know. Rooting there is kind of tragic, but honestly, it doesn't matter in the end, right? You don't need insane mechanics to win fight. Oh wow, nice ult. But good try, right? Looks like you're gonna help mid.
Yeah, I didn't know if Graves had stayed or not.
So how do you win this fight mid or not?
No.
Well, how do you know?
Because it's a 4v3.
I would say you're gonna win this, right? So back it up. I would say you win this 100%, right? So okay, press play here.
Right here.
Okay, so pause. Okay, so if you look at the situation, Graves and Kindred are low HP, right?
Right. Okay, never mind. It's a 3v3. I thought it was a 4v3.
So this is a 2v2, right?
Right.
Basically, if we ignore the top laners, which generally is what happens, this is 2v2. So
Well,
we
is it not a
know that
3v3 because there's two here and then Graves is right over here, and then Kindred, Rakan, me?
yeah, it's kind of like a 3v3, but the Graves is not going to do anything without dying immediately,
Right.
And Kindred's not going to do anything without dying immediately.
Mhm.
So you can kind of pretend it's a 2v2, but it really is a 3v3 with
Right.
those two champions being like almost
Since they're so
non-existent,
low, yeah.
right? So you guys can just walk up the Graves and kill them,
And
and
then
then Ari
Ari's
has no
low.
HP,
Yeah.
right? And she probably doesn't have ult because she just killed TF. We can't really assume that, but
Right.
but she's super low, right? So it's a 2v2 and you guys have an advantage. So as long as you land everything, you're gonna win, right? So press play here. And not only that, if you stall out this fight long enough, TF's gonna ult. So all you have to do here is just okay, that was a nice try. All you have to do here is just make sure you don't die. TF comes back and you're just gonna kill everyone, right?
Right.
Also, if you held on to your W, that's like a kill, right? Okay, yeah, see,
Right.
TF is ulting. He's gonna kill Warwick. Free on that side. You guys can't lose this. So this is free or not. Okay, so yeah, you should only use W if
They've been
you're gonna
hit,
read them.
right?
Yeah, if you're gonna read them, right? So
Yeah.
you would have probably killed these guys. You still kill them anyways, right? Doesn't even matter if you play it bad or not. If you are winning, if you take unfair fights, you're gonna win. Doesn't like this is a perfect example of showing mechanics doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
Right.
what they did or you did. On average, you're just gonna win every time. An unfair fight, right? So you're definitely gonna win this. Okay, you're not gonna win this anymore because Nar's coming, right? So you wanna if you don't get this right now, everyone's gonna run, right? Okay, so everyone's dead,
Like
right?
they
So that's how we
should've-
know.
Yeah.
Boom, that's how we know, right? Without even just like if we just take a look at the map, we just instantly know, right? The faster you can recognize this, it will decide like your next move. You can do your next move faster, right?
Right.
So if we saw that, I would have immediately gone bot, or you just back, right? Or you can go do dragon because
Right. As soon as we saw Nar coming down.
exactly. As soon as you saw Nar coming down, I knew you either get that Ari or you can't or you lose.
Yeah, and she got too far,
you
so we
chase,
should have just backed off.
So if you can't get that Ari, everyone runs, right? Perfect. Boom. Right? Okay, so we can just fast forward to the next fight, probably. So going mid. Any questions
God.
so far? Or is that pretty accurate?
No, it's pretty good. It's really accurate so far. Mostly just knowing when a fight is fair on your side or unfair on your side.
Okay, pause here. So we're gonna throw in some more concepts for like in case you want to like go back and review this later and you need more stuff to look at. One way, the reason why I said, if you can push, this is like a soft rule. If you can push, right? If you can push without dying, push. The reason why that is look at mid. So whatever happened, TF is getting pushed in, which means that if they come fight you guys, he can't help until after he clears that wave, right? That makes sense. Like we saw earlier, you asked yourself, you asked, hey, could I have helped them when the minions were at your tower? You couldn't because you were pushed in and you had no vision. It's the same concept, right? So that's why pushing is important because you can go help first. So whenever you look at the map and you see something like this, you can't hit bot, right? Because what if they come out, right? This is like another way to like figure out fights or not. So we can press play here.
All right.
Now, I would not worry about your fighting or whatever, right? So chasing this, you're gonna die, right? 100%. As even if you don't die, you can't win this, right?
Right.
So this I promise you, if you can like figure every single fight out like this, you're just gonna win every game. I promise. So somehow you didn't die, but it was a close call and there was nothing to be gained from going out there, right? So this guy's gonna get hit. That's kind of awkward, but what can you do? So
that's probably a battle right here.
So if you want to work on like your fighting, my best advice is don't use abilities unless you know 100%, right? Like using your W there, why? Using your ult, you need to ask yourself why.
I should have ran.
Yeah,
really
this is
far
not a
here.
trick. That's that. We know now, so we don't have to worry about that. But right. But even though that's happening, your team is getting something else on the other side of the map. So the way League works is that in an unfair fight, you're running away, right? The jungler comes bot, you guys are running away 2v3. What happens on the other side of the map? Your team is coming to help, so the enemy is chasing. Okay, so another way to win a fair fight, right? Another way to win a fair fight is vision, like we said, landing abilities, like we said. Third is chasing. If they chase, they're gonna get hit, right? So chasing is a soft like way to know if you're gonna win a fair fight, right? 3v3, they chase, you're gonna win because you can land your stuff like 100%
Right.
of the time, right? So say the enemy jungler comes bot, it's a 2v3, you guys are running away because you know it's not fair. Then when your jungler comes in, it's a 3v3, they're chasing, so they lose, right? Or you guys run away and your team does a 3v2 on the other side of the map and the enemy gets caught by that, you win, right? So you don't always have to win every fight. You just have to make sure you don't take the bad fights and you take the good fights, right? That's the important part of a league. So here, pause. I would say in bronze, don't worry about towers. Don't worry about tower damage. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about any of that. Just make sure the waves are pushing, because it's very hard to tell whether or not you can hit this tower.
Right.
Because
Because
you
I have
vision.
no vision up here or over here.
And sometimes you can say it's okay to push a tower with no vision if you can 1v1 or 1v2, or if you have a backup plan. But that's like super hard at this point of the, this point of the game. So don't worry about any of that. Don't worry about tower damage. Only go for objectives, dragon, baron, towers, like whatever, invades, if you kill someone. Okay, if you kill someone. In bronze for sure. Only if someone dies, right? So we can press play here. But yeah, if you die here, that's why. You're hitting the tower. You have no idea if they're, yeah, see? So don't worry about hitting tower. I promise you, you need you could take every single tower on the map and you can lose the game in bronze because someone like gets caught and then you lose baron, they push mid, right? Does that sound accurate? So don't worry about towers or anything like that.
So what should I have been doing right there?
So if you back it up. Okay, so you see Kindred finds
I
Graves.
just saw Graves, okay.
Right? So okay,
I
Kindred
did not
dies.
notice
You know you cannot stay because Kindred's dead. So you push this and you run, right? You have to back here because there's
Right
nothing
here
else
I
you can
should
do.
run.
Oh yeah, you should have run after you kill that last minion.
Okay.
Right?
Should I have backed or should I have ran?
You back, or if you think that they're coming for you, you keep running. Your options are back and base, go mid, do Gromp, do Wolves if you are desperate for money, right? Or back or top, right? There's a lot of things you can do, but the only thing you can't do is stay and die, right? So whenever your team dies, you know that you shouldn't do anything. Whenever the enemy team dies, be fearless, right? Stuff like that, right? And pink wards will help you like gain like control of the game, right? Because we know that vision is very important when it comes to fair and unfair fights, right? An unfair fight becomes impossible to win if you have no vision, and a fair fight becomes really hard to win if you have no vision. And the flip side is true. If you have vision and they don't, you're very likely to win. And if it's 4v5 but they have no vision on you, you can still win, right? So vision is very strong in League. So we're coming here. So I think they're gonna lose because they're sieging, and Rakan's gonna get a free engage. Maybe.
I ran away because I saw Graves and Malphite.
Yeah, it's like super. That's why it's super hard to like.
I fucked that.
Oh no. Okay, you guys are gonna lose because Udyr is top, right? So everyone should be running. Right. Malphite ults here, you guys lose, right? So, if you ever see, this is kind of awkward. Yeah. So you always want to be away from Malphite flash ult, right? You always have to be very prepared for that, or Warwick ult, right? Anything like that, you have to be prepared for because they're gonna do it, right? This is awkward. He's dead. But yeah, now you lose the tower, right? 100%. There's no way you can save it.
Pretty sure I'd die here too.
Yeah. So, whenever it's unfair like that, or even if it's fair like that, know what's gonna kill you. Right. This is kind of like the fight. We're getting to the kind of like the mechanics side of it, but what's gonna kill you? You already know. Ari Charm, Malphite ult, right? Anything like that. Ashe ult, right? Anything like that is gonna kill you. Gnar ult, right? So, make sure that you don't get hit by that no matter what. Because in a fair fight, like we said, what changes a fair fight? Hitting stuff and getting hit by stuff. And that is super true when it comes to backline carries, right? So say Rakan ult lands on Ari, and then you guys blow her up. All of a sudden it's a 4v5, right? Unfair fight. So if that happens to you guys, you know you should run. When the instant your team, something like that happens to your team, if you stay and try and fight it out, you're going to lose 9 times out of 10, right? So don't get hit by that stuff. As the backline, our job is to what? How do we win a fair fight? You flash it, right? You bait it out and you flash it, and then you automatically win. Stuff like that, right? So push this out. It's kind of spooky to go into your jungle because they could be sitting there, but I guess we won't worry about that too much.
Was that a good word or no? Like, should I
so that's only good if you think they're there.
Right.
Because otherwise it's useless.
And I was scared because they were pushed up, so I figured we should maybe get a little bit of vision.
Now, say you need to face check, right? Because they're doing Baron or something. Who's the best candidate to do that?
I would say probably Rakan.
right?
Or
Because he
Udyr.
can dash away,
Yeah.
or the tank, right? Because if they get hit by stuff, they're not gonna die, right? Etc. Etc. So if you're desperate, that's what you do. Okay, so tell me, why are you going over?
I think I was roaming to top side to push that with Udyr,
Okay,
and
pause,
my
pause. So
support
what
was
happens if you do that and they all five go top? Don't you guys lose a unfair
we
fight, right? Because
lose.
TF's on the wrong side of the map. Kindred can't help it enough, right? When you get later into the game, like okay, we said earlier that if they're within one lane's distance, you count them as like in
They
for
can
the
help.
fight, right? They can help. Now, when it gets later and later into the game, the fights are faster and faster, so they have to be closer,
Mhm.
right? So say Malphite flash ults and TF and say okay, so say your top laner is splitting and he has TP against, and you guys are playing against a Rakan. It doesn't matter that he has TP, even though you think it's a 5v5, it's a 4v5. Because if he flash ults you guys die before he TP's in, right? So it's a
Right.
4v5. So in this case, the fight is going to happen so fast that Kindred can't get there in time. So that's how you know whether you're what you should be doing or not, right?
Right.
In bronze, don't worry about making these kind of pushing plays.
Mhm.
Worry about like pushing your side of the map. So what needs to be pushed on your map right now?
Mid.
Exactly. So push mid, right? Clear mid, push mid, especially when you have inhibitor down, right? So
Right.
that's how you know. Okay, so we can press play here. So yeah, they could all be going top, so you can't show top, otherwise they bum rush you and you have no options. Yeah, stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we leave here. Except
Let's get
he,
that. Oh
I don't
no!
know. Look what
Oh.
that was.
That's kind of funny. Oh shit! Everyone run, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm fucking dead because of that shit.
oh no! It's tragedy. He's trying to jump to you right now.
Yeah, I think I should have probably.
That's fine.
I realized it like so late.
The fighting doesn't matter. Don't worry about mechanics or whatever. It's all about, right? If you weren't in that position, that wouldn't have happened, right? That's the thing we should focus on.
It's all because of the blast plant.
So yeah, now you know you're gonna lose this because this is unfair fight, right? You should lose this,
Uh-huh.
right? So even though Kindred got a free kill somehow, it still wasn't good, right? So that's like an example of like even though it's unfair, you got something out of it. It's just like you're outplaying them mechanically, but you can't rely on that. You can't rely on outplaying the people at your rank every time. That's just like too hard. Right?
So after Nar died, we should have just immediately ran back.
Yeah. Right. Just straight run, right? Unless you had like your team with you or something. So, any questions so far, or do you think this is helping?
No, this is definitely helping. Yeah.
Right. So, I think this is like it's gonna be more of the same, honestly. And I think we're at our time limit, but basically, what I want you to focus on, right? What I think will help you the most, like get better immediately, is every time something is happening, right? Like this. Every time something is happening, do you win this? Yes, because there's someone top, someone bot, right? So this is like a fucking 5v1. What can you do?
Exactly.
So I want you to recognize whether or not like this is a fair fight or not, right? This is advantage. Depending on the advantages, number of advantages is the most important thing to look at, right? And if you if there's like a stalemate or something, right? And it's always going to be a 3v3, 4v4, 5v5. Then you start looking at what can you hit. This is a great route, right? Stuff like that. You're bronze 3. That was great. Like you don't need to work on your fighting. Like honestly. So don't worry about that stuff. Just worry about like making sure. Making sure that every time something's happening, you look at the map and you say, what's gonna happen? And if you're chasing and it's a fair fight, you probably don't want to chase unless you're gonna kill them, right? Like we saw mid, TF was chasing. I was like, you better kill that Aura, or you guys are gonna die, right? So as long as you can recognize whether or not you win a fight immediately, you're gonna get out of this rank really fast, because I promise you the other 9 players are not thinking about that, right? I promise you, they have no idea what they're doing. They're gonna see champion, they're gonna hit him, right? Look at this, Graves versus Udyr. What's gonna happen? Someone's gonna die. I guarantee you, someone's gonna die if they try and fight, right?
Right. Yeah.
See champion, hit champion, right? I promise you, if that Gnar hit in the bush, the Udyr would have tried to hit the Graves, right? So as long as we can figure that out, right, you're gonna win all the fights for your team, and the enemy is just gonna throw every game, right? Don't worry about objectives. Don't worry about any of that. Worry about just pushing and making sure you don't die while pushing, and then you go help if you can, right? So I think right. So here, can you push? No, because they're missing, right? So I think that will really help your game. And remember, don't worry about the tower damage or anything like that. That's not gonna win you games in bronze. Trying to hit it and getting caught doing it is what's gonna lose you games in bronze, right? So it's all about recognizing if you have numbers advantage or not, right?
Mm.
And if you like maybe have numbers advantage or not, then it comes to vision, and then it comes to landing abilities, right? So if you can get those like that kind of mindset going, you're gonna find yourself like being in every winnable situation, right? So if you ever lose a fight, go back and watch and play TV and ask yourself why, and that'll
Okay.
really help you a lot, right? So
Okay.
whenever something happens, ask yourself, do we win or not? And you have to be able to reason it out. The faster you can do this, the more like playtime you get, right? Because you can't play without knowing that. That's
Yeah.
just kind of like throwing, right?
Exactly.
Like the other team, they're doing it. Your team, they're doing it, right? They're playing without knowing whether they win or not, and that's like a losing formula,
Mm.
right? The general that goes into a fight knowing he wins is the guy who's gonna come out on top, right? Because if he knows he wins, like say you have like two armies, right, and they're evenly matched, and one army knows that he has reinforcements like half the size coming in from like the flank, so
Right.
he takes a fight front on fight, and then reinforcements comes. Who's gonna win? The first
Definitely
guy,
the one
right?
with the reinforcements. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
this is actually the exact same thing in League, right? You take a fight and you have reinforcements coming, then you know
Yeah.
you're gonna win.
Yeah.
So as long as you can get that mindset going, like every game, like just think to yourself, whenever a fight happens, say, okay, do we win this?
Mhm.
And then yes or no, go for it. Unsure, play safe and try and hit everything, right? And then I think you'll see massive improvement immediately.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I think. Any thoughts? Any last thoughts, questions, concerns?
Nope. I'm probably what I'll do is I recorded this session, so I'll probably like
Nice,
rewatch it
nice.
a couple times and then probably get like another session within like a week or two,
Sounds good. Sounds
just
good.
to
Let
see
me.
if like I've been improving notably or not.
Mhm. Well, it sounds good, and I think it'll like you'll do super well. Like I'm not like sugarcoating anything. Like your fighting is like really good for your rank.
Mhm.
Like so if you can like focus on this, you're just gonna skyrocket, right?
Okay.
So
Sweet.
yeah. Let me know how it goes,
Mhm.
and if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. I'm always down to answer questions, right? If you have like a 20-second clip and you're like, hey, is this a fair fight? I can't tell. I'll be able to tell you stuff
Okay.
like that. So yeah, let me know how things go. And
Yeah.
can I put this on YouTube or would you
Yeah,
rather
go for
not?
it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Yeah, let me know how things go. I'm very curious to see how you do.
Yeah. Thank
So,
you, man.
dude,
Thank you
no
a ton.
problem, no problem. Until next time.
All right. Yep. I'll see you again later.